Gemini.
Hello Gemini, this is your February forecast for 2015, and it's going to be a career month for you, which I think you're really going to enjoy. We have Mars and Venus in your career house, so that's your creativity. It's also your action, your drive, your ambition, and the energy around you in that career space. So you might be able to achieve and accomplish a whole lot until these two planets are going to be changing signs a little bit later in the month when they ingress into Aries on the 19th and 20th. So you want to make sure that you make the most out of those first 2.5 weeks so that you can actually come to create a flow and surf on this for the next year until Venus revisits this area. It'll be another 2 years before Mars comes into your career area again. So it's a good time for you to really focus and enjoy what you are creating right now. Now, they will both be also here connected to the Neptunian energy that you have in this area. And Neptune is your inspiration. It is that higher thought that comes to you, and especially for those of you in communication fields, which a lot of you Gemini are, you're masters at it. And when I say that, it is because we're going to get another extra boost this month for you when you have the full moon here on February 3rd. It is in your third house, so something is going to be illuminated and brought to the forefront. And there's a couple of surprises following this full moon. We have a glorious golden ray in a beautiful trine coming from Uranus, which brings about these unexpected twists and turns. In this case, it should be a really good one. And coming from the area of where you hold your hopes and dreams, or also where I see friends coming into the pictures, or groups, organizations, having Uranus here can bring things that has to do with you and your big spurts moving forward. So not only that, but we have a second little surprise on this full moon, and that is because it's going to be conjuncting here with Jupiter. And that's big. Jupiter is always abundant and generous, and so pay attention to see what comes along there around the 3rd and the 4th. And maybe some travel, unexpected travel could come into the picture. Maybe you will be going somewhere, or maybe there might be news of somebody coming from afar visiting you as well. Now, we can also see maybe interaction with your siblings, some news there, perhaps. That is that third house. But it's also your closer community, neighbors and so forth. So there might be some more action or perhaps energy requested to volunteer. And so, yeah. What else there? The written, spoken word. It's what you communicate and how you communicate it, Gemini, right now, which I feel you could really take a big leap forward, especially if you have anything dealing with presentations, giving a talk or speech. Well, this third house here would be absolutely fabulous around the 3rd and 4th. The new moon this month will be February 18th, showing up at the very last degree of Aquarius in your 9th house. But it's still powerful enough for you to set down your intentions. And the 9th house has to do with your higher thinking. But also with education, higher education, languages, also foreign people and places. Now in this area it's accompanied with the Sun and Mercury. So maybe you're working on planning some vacation later on this year. That would be good. For those of you looking for publishing companies, this is a great time also this month for you to submit your writings and your scripts, and also to expect to hear something especially after when Mercury goes direct again, which will be on the 11th or 12th, depending on where you live, east or west in this world. Yes, Mercury is still retrograde until then, the 11th or 12th, and it is in your 9th house for communication with foreign people or out of state, out of country. You might also see that you're conducting a little bit more, should I say, research, going back over things that you touched upon a couple of months ago, but it looks like you were quite busy at the time. Maybe you didn't complete or have the time enough to actually go as deep as you liked, and now this is where Mercury is behooving you to catch up on, get those details. And once you do, let me tell you now, it can behoove you in your career. When Mercury goes direct, it will be moving into your career house. Now, on the 1st, February 1st, we have Venus and Neptune conjunct on the sky, meaning that they share that same degree. And Venus is love and Neptune the higher octave of love. So it's a really romantic date for those of you wanting to mark that off on your calendar. For the artists among you, it's a super mega time to listen to that inspiration that comes to you. New ideas and concepts and so forth. The musicians among you might hear new tunes, that kind of thing. For the painters, you will see the scapes that you would like to paint. So beautiful date there on the 1st. On the 2nd, the Sun and Uranus will interact with each other, bringing to you a little news here. And I feel this has to do with something being sparked from a friend or a group, some kind of affiliation. Maybe your social network might flare up here, and if you are looking to adding something to an existing form within your social network, you can still do that even though Mercury's retrograde, as long as it's pre-existing. If it's a new concept, then I'd say wait to after the 12th. Now on the 5th, this is really nice because Saturn, which has now changed signs, it's in your opposite sign, and for you that's the 7th house of relationships. So many of you, at least early Geminis, will come to feel that your love life is turning a corner and becoming more serious. Really now at a point where you're wanting to kind of settle in, create some roots. And Mercury here will be coming into a situation where there are some deeper talks on this day. You might feel that you need to make a decision, and if you don't have to do it right off the bat, I'd say just hang in there a couple of more days so you don't do this flip-flop vacillation, because on the 8th already, that Venus is going to feel more not just content, but confident as it joins up with Pluto. And Pluto will help you transform that sense of relationship feeling that you have, where Venus is still very sensitive. It's in that sign of Pisces, and Pisces feel, right? You get to have a little taste of how it feels to be a Pisces all the time as it's passing through this sign. Because it's bringing your emotions up, it's sensitizing you. And here comes Pluto in on the 8th, and it's wanting to transform something, giving you that sense of confidence. And so whatever it is, there on the 6th, wait to the 8th, you'll know a little bit more. Now on the 19th, Mercury and Saturn, they are again going to meet like they did on the 5th. However, whatever talks you had back then, Mercury was still retrograde, so it was dealing with past issues and so forth. But now as it's moving forward, it's touching upon that very same degree again, and now you can make your decision and feel that Saturn is behind it, it is supporting you. And we have on the very same day, February 19th, where Mars now is moving out of your career house, as we mentioned earlier. So your focus for the rest of the month and into March there will be within groups, your friendships, social networks, your hopes and dreams, that kind of thing. You're going to be very social, outgoing. You're leaving some of all that work you put behind here in the career field and now bringing it more outwardly. And you will be joined with Venus there on the 20th, the day after. So you can come to see how you're going to be a social butterfly here for the rest of February. You're going to probably come to see that you're going to be out and about a little bit more, attending events or creating get-togethers and potlucks, that kind of thing. So a really nice time here for you at the end of February. Now on February 22nd, Mars and Venus, they're going to share that very same degree. They're going to conjunct. So if there is a clear sky where you live, go out and see them on the night sky. They're beautiful there. And so this is a time for you single Geminis to be out. Do not sit home if you're looking for a new partner. This can really attract it to you. And for those of you already in a committed relationship, well, it's needless to say, it is a romantic day. So circle that in on your calendar. On the 23rd, though, you might hesitate on some issues and not being quite sure what it is and where it is you're going. It might be between where you're at in a relationship and your career. Maybe it is how many hours do you want to work? Have you been working too much? Do you need to cut back? You're asking yourself, maybe there has been too much or too little. However, though, on the 24th, we have Venus coming in, beautiful golden trine. That's one of the best aspects we do have, coming into that very Saturn that was feeling a little hesitant there. And it will confirm to you that you are on the right path. So you will be getting the support that you need. So if you were thinking that you want to take on extra hours because it is busy, you will find that your partner will be supportive, give you the green light. And this is doubly confirmed on the 26th when Mars also comes in and does the same beautiful golden ray to Saturn. So you have those around you that you need to have around you to accomplish what Mars and Venus is now wanting to do. We're ending this month here on the 26th with Sun and Neptune. They're conjunct. So I feel just like on February 1st, that inspiration that you were receiving, now the Sun is also going to come into that very, very same degree in your chart, and it's going to flare up, and you might revisit some of those creative ideas you had, and maybe now would be the time to start putting some oomph behind it. Now that Mercury is direct, you're good to go. So the month is ending on a very, very good note here. Now I'd like to say just before we end that Pluto, still in your 8th house, is working on how you're dealing with your money matters. We also have no, that's more, I'll talk more about that next month, so forget that, but do now go listen to your partner's chart to see what's up with him or her, and then also listen to your moon and rising sign as always. So have a wonderful month, Gemini, and I'll see you in March.